So the second image is this one. Now what I want to do here is I want to make this into an image which is slightly like this is something which is happening, the outside. I want to make it like a night view. So how do I do that? First of all, I'm going to make a selection here. Yeah, so this is my selection for the window. Try and be very accurate with this, because it's not going to work if it's not accurate. So we need it to be very, very accurate, very, very specific. So you can zoom in or zoom out depending on how you want to work with it, and create your selection. Yeah, so I'm going to quickly select all the parts where you have your window, and then we are going to add a layer mask on top of it. A mask right here is going to help us add any brightness, contrast, color balance to this layer. So this is number one selection, and I'm going to create 2 to 3 masks here. So almost done with the selection. Okay, right. So now first of all, I'm creating a brightness and contrast mask. So here you can see this is the mask that I've created. Now I'm going to go to properties and decrease the brightness, increase the contrast. So that's a night view. Now again I am going to do my selection. So this time I want to select the other part, which is the interior, or maybe you can also play with the black and whites here. So let's do one more thing. What I will do is I will select my window part, which is this one. I'm doing it with polygonal lasso because this is something which is in polygons and it's easy to select this way. But if you are somebody who wants to use something else, you can always go for the other kind of selection tools as well. So polygonal lasso is not a compulsion. It's just my choice because the shape I am choosing is somewhat like that. So yeah, this is where I have my polygonal lasso. Same for this last section. Right, so now we have this selection over here. This part, I think it did not get selected, so I'm just going to select this. Nice. Now let's add another layer on top of this, and what I want to do is I want to add a color balance filter here now in the second one. So what I'm going to do with color balance is I'm going to increase the blues and greens slightly. Yeah, so if you want to change the shadows, so that's what I want to do. I want to increase the shadows to bluer sides so that it looks like a night scene, so like a little bit of a blue. That's what we want. Now I can see that this is a blue kind of a sky outside. Now the interior side, I again need to change this to make it something more brighter, something which is, which has some light coming in. So I have a light fixture here, I have a light fixture here. I can showcase the effect of these lights. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to add a layer, and I am going to use my brush tool. So I'm going to create a large size brush like that. I'm going to select the color of like slightly yellow, and I'm going to keep on adding these lights. Now this is something which I need to be into, multiply, or you can go overlay. So overlay is better. So slightly again, if you want to add light, adding light in just this area, because this is the part where I have the light source. Now after doing that, if you're still not satisfied, what we can do is here again I can select my polygonal lasso, and I'm going to select again the windows, but I'm going to do a select inverse so that I can make a selection of the things which are beyond the windows. So again, let's select something like this. Here also I'm going to make a selection. Here and the final selection. Now I'm going to go and say select inverse. Now finally I'm going to add a brightness contrast mask here as well, and see I'm just brightening the interiors. So once you add this brightness effect, if I go back to my layers, now let's see the original image. So the original image is somewhat which looks like this. Now once I add a brightness contrast, the interior is brightened up. I've added lights, I've added the outside, and I've changed it to a blue color. So if I now see the complete picture, it has completely changed and it has been done without destroying the real image. So I can still go back to the original image. I can do slight changes only. I can do, however I want to use it, I can use it. And it has become like a file which has a lot going on, and it is something which is more, you can say, enhanced. So this is something that you can do with any kind of a render. You can either change the color, you can either change the outside, you can change the inside. So there's so much that you can do with just the indestructible layers. I hope you like the video. Subscribe for more.